You are joining myself and Logan Hall of MoveBubble for the first in a series we're calling The Digital Landlord. And Logan, today we're going to be focusing on building your rental reputation. And I think we both agree that this is absolutely vital for landlords to get going with this now. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, we all know that the rental market from a renter perspective is going to get more competitive. References have been asked of renters or tenants for donkey's years now. And what we're finding is that that's now migrating online. People are coming to, MoveBubble in this instance are coming and specifically building a rental reputation to share with the landlords. However, one of the things that I think that we're beginning to see is a demand from the renters that things are more open, more honest, more transparent, and that actually renters are beginning to ask the property owners themselves for references. I've spoken with lots of property investors and landlords about the idea of building rental reputation, and I think ultimately there's no time like the present. You can get ahead if you start now. Building a rental reputation is most property searches start online. We know that. So enabling renters to browse not only the properties, but the people that are either managing the properties, the agents, and or the people that own it, the landlords, and then enabling the renters to pick the best landlord for them is as equally important as the landlords picking the best renters for the property. So I think we're entering a stage where things are going to become more level, more transparent. And we've already seen this across other industries. If you take short-term lettings, the hotel space is disrupted enormously by Airbnb. Airbnb builds sort of user reputations. Uber, again, has kind of broken the cartel of the black cabs here in London. And even eBay, the likes of that, where reputations are incredibly important for sellers and buyers alike. This is the way things are going. Property seems to be lagging. So I anticipate an enormous catch-up in property as people migrate to quite quickly build their rental reputations.
Well, I completely agree with you, and I think that community reputation is far more trusted actually, because it's third party, it's transparent, as you say. And I think landlords have to appreciate that if they're an ethical landlord, building a rental reputation for themselves can actually differentiate them from the rogue landlords who actually want to stay under the radar and don't want to be transparent.
Absolutely. I think previously it's been very easy for rogue agents and rogue landlords and rogue tenants to a point kind of sit under the radar and get away with bad practices. Whereas, now I think we're moving into a stage where if I'm a renter looking at a landlord's online profile, or sorry, should I say, I'm looking at a property and the landlord doesn't have an online profile, that's a red flag to me. Yeah. That says, I don't know if this person, if this landlord is, if they have a good reputation. I don't know whether they are good at business. Are they going to look after me? They're going to replace the boiler. So for me, that would say, okay, let's take a step back from this and let's find a landlord that is better.
Indeed, and MoveBubble is kind of at the forefront of this because your platform allows landlords to create a transparent, almost sort of passport stroke reputation as they become more and more engaged with the MoveBubble community.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with MoveBubble, and we've kind of we've been around. The site's been live for around about 6-7 months now. We've got 30,000 users who have a kind of a combination of property owners and renters, specifically in London at this stage. We are helping people create that online reputation. We know that we can add more to it. We're well aware of that. But ultimately, we are leading the charge, I think, in this space. There isn't anybody else that I'm aware of that's doing what we're doing, has the user numbers, has the engagement levels, has renters and owners asking questions of one another. It's a great space to be. I suppose you could look at it and say, it's kind of the LinkedIn of the rental market. It's worth going on and building your reputation. You don't necessarily go to LinkedIn to find a job. Maybe you wouldn't come to MoveBubble to find a property as such, but you would certainly go there to build your rental reputation and showcase how good you are or have been.
Indeed, and let's just remind landlords watching this that although landlords may not be digitally minded yet, tenants most certainly are, and they're going to be using platforms like MoveBubble and the social web to actually check out landlords, make sure that they're ethical. So that's end of part 1 of our digital landlord, and we'll be joining with Logan and MoveBubble again for part 2. So watch out for that one as well. Thanks, Logan.
No worries. Thanks a lot. Cheers.